Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I am co-hosting The Last Thing Thrifted with my friends Dawn from Shabby Meets Bling, Monica from Up All Night DIY, Annie from Crafting with Indie Annie Jones, Shelly from Repurpose My Way, Marika from Marika Creations, and Zaina from OK at Home DIY. In today's video, I'm going to be making a pumpkin witch here. This is a wooden pumpkin bowl that I thrifted many years ago. It's just been in my craft room. So basically I thrifted it for my craft room. I used to hold acorns. And this is one of those hats that I made from my last video because I had to make a smaller one. So I do have this bigger one, but it needs a bigger brim so I can have it as a cover here for my dish. To see how I made this, please check out my previous video. I have the link down below in my description box. What I'm going to be doing here to make the brim bigger is just hot glue it on to a bigger circle that I cut out of an old cereal box. Okay. Now I need to take my aluminum foil and I need to build this up to get it level with the old brim. I'm just kind of playing with this right now to see what's going to work. All right, so I made some more of these. I'm going to just hot glue these on. I'm probably going to have to build this up maybe 2 more layers to get it level with the old brim. And then I will add more of the aluminum foil going up to the hat part. All right, so I have that done. And what I'm doing is I'm just taking some paper towels and I have some watered down Mod Podge. And I'm going to get this covered up so it looks just like the other part of the hat. And I will be doing 2 layers of the paper towels. So I'm going to do this first layer, I will let it dry, and then do the second layer. All right, now that that is dry, I am taking my cheesecloth and I'm going to be covering the whole hat. I'm going to do 2 layers of the cheesecloth. And this time I will not be waiting for it to dry in between the layers. I'm just going to get a layer on and then I'm just going to go right over it. I want to make sure I make a lot of little creases in here so that when I paint it, I can highlight the creases. And once I get both of my layers done, I'm going to let this dry for a day. Now that I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and get the pumpkin painted. I am going to base coat it with burnt orange. I'm just going to be doing 1 coat. And once this is dry, I'll go with my next layer. The next layer I'm doing is True Ochre, True Ochre. And I am just dry brushing this on just randomly around the pumpkin. The next color I'm using is Burnt Sienna. A little bit darker. Just going to go over this. And I'm also going to take the True Ochre and brush it on while the Burnt Sienna is wet. It's going to kind of go back and forth with the colors. You can see I'm adding more of the yellow. And I'm even doing some of the burnt orange on here too. All right, now I'm going to be taking burnt umber on here and just kind of randomly putting it on. I'm trying to get this to look a little more primitive looking. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit more of that burnt umber. Alright, now that it's all dry, I'm going to take some of the True Ochre and splatter it on with an old toothbrush. And once this is dry, I'm going to take some of the burnt umber and do the same thing. Now that it's all dry, I'm going to take my dark antique wax and I'm going to rub it over the whole pumpkin here just to darken up some of the yellow there. A little too bright. And that is all that I'm going to do to the pumpkin. I'm not going to put any kind of a face on it. I like it just like this. Like this looks really nice. Alright, so the next day I get to do the hat. Just going to paint it black. And I'm probably going to have to do 2 coats because you have to make sure you get all the little cracks and crevices covered up, otherwise you're going to have it be really splotchy with all this white. Alright, now that I have it done, I wanted to cover up that part and I just used some burlap and hot glued it on. I'm taking my warm white and I'm going to be dry brushing this over just to bring all the little, see I made little folds and everything. You just want to bring all that out, bring those details out. I'm going to go ahead and continue doing this over the whole hat. And then I want to tone it down just a little bit. It's a little too white. So I'm going to take my hippo gray and go over the white part. And see, that's toning the white down quite a bit, making it look a little more black and gray instead. Alright, now that that is dry, I'm taking my burnt orange and I'm taking my stencil brush and I'm just going to be tapping it on. And then I'm going to take the True Ochre again. Do the same thing with the stencil brush, just go over the orange. And then I'm going to take Burnt Umber and go over that. So I'm just going to be using these colors, kind of what I used on the pumpkin, and I'm going to make all these little rusty looking spots going around the hat. Just doing it in random areas, just going to keep going back and forth with the three colors here. Alright, now that I have most of it done, I want to put a little bit on the top of the hat, so I'm just going to go with my three colors again. You just want to do this until you get the desired look that you want. Alright, now we need to add some embellishments. So I have a whole bunch of my pieces of fall picks here. I have some of that creepy fabric, but I'm not liking the color of it. I want it just to be a little bit darker. So what I did here, it's a little bit darker, I took some burnt umber paint and I just watered it down and let it soak for a while, wrung it out and let it dry. So it is toned down just a little bit. So I'm going to be wrapping this around the hat here, just tying it once. Try spreading it out a little bit. Now I want to add some leaves. Just going to hot glue some leaves and some berries. I have some real pine cones and acorns, just like I did on my topiary hat. So I want to coordinate because I'm going to be decorating with those topiaries, and I want to put this little witch pumpkin with them too. So I'm just going to continue on using pieces from all my fall picks that I have. I'm actually going to be doing the whole hat all the way around. But I want to work on the front because this is going to be the front that I want to use. I'm going to make it just a little bit different, a little bit more items on the front than what I'm going to do around the rest of the hat. And here's some of those little real pine cones that I have. And this is a real acorn. I like that it has like a little stem on it. And this is a little piece of a tree branch from my yard. Gonna add another one of those acorns. I mean, not acorns. pine cone, but yes, I do have an acorn. It's just the pine cone first. Let's get that other acorn up there. Just trying to figure out what else I want to put here. I think I want to put a mum. So I got that mum right there. And I'm adding, as you can see, I've been adding some of that sheet moss so it will coordinate with the topiaries that I made. I think that looks really pretty for the front. Now I need to continue around the brim. So I'm just going to add some of the sheet moss here going around. I kind of like these flowers here. I don't know if I want to keep it like that or cut it into pieces. Just got to play with this a little bit here. I do want to put some more of these, at least one more of these leaves on the back side. A little bit more of the moss. And some more of those pine cones and acorns that I have. I have this little pumpkin here, the styrofoam pumpkin that I painted. It was glittery, and you saw the little bubbles on it. You can get that look by painting it and then using your heat gun to it, and it's going to bring out all those little bumps. So I think that looks pretty cool to do that. I'm going to add some more of the moss. I want to add some around the pumpkin. Let's get some more of this here to tear it apart. And I am going to go ahead and cut this little flower bunch up and use pieces of it instead of the whole thing. And I want to use one more mum here to fill in this spot. There, I think that looks really pretty. Alright, I made this little sign here. Actually, I didn't make it. I printed it off from Creative Fabrica, and I'm going to take my dark antique wax and I'm just going to rub over this. I always wait a day. I know some people like say you can put this in the oven or whatever, or spray it with some hairspray or something, but I just wait a day and then I can do things with it and the ink doesn't run. Because I'm going to have this little sign on the front of my hat. I'm just going to cut this out first, and I'm going to rip it. And I do have the link below for this little saying from Creative Fabrica. I did make it smaller. I can't remember what size I tried. It might have been the 3x5 size that I printed out. I'm going to go around the edges a little bit darker. And I'll also put this on the back side. Isn't that cute? I just love this. It's going to go right here. All right. Before I put that on, I did add a little bit of moss on top of the pumpkin there, and I added just a few more pieces in there to fill it up, and I'm just going to hot glue this on. Now you could make this more sturdier if you have a little bit of the real thin cardboard, but I'm just going to leave it as the copy paper. Alright, I think this is so cute. And I want to add a little star right here. So this came off one of my picks, and the wire to it is just a little bit too long. So I'm just going to curly Q it right here and cut it to the length that I want. And I'm just going to stick it up there instead of hot gluing it. I think I can stick it up through there. I mean, it's just aluminum foil and tissue. I mean, you know, can't even say paper towels. There, I think that looks so adorable. So let's go check it out with my topiaries. I think this coordinates perfectly. I can't wait to start decorating for fall. Now let's see the back side. I flip the hat around. Alright, my sweet friends, that's going to do it for the video today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and please be sure to check out everybody's videos. I have the playlist link down below in my description box, along with all the host channel links. I want to wish everybody a very wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.